Hello everyone, I hope you have a great time. In this video, what I want to do is I want to provide a review on ProjectLibre, open source project, a solution, a kind of a solution as an alternative for Microsoft project, and because I'm telling alternative for Microsoft project because it's free, open source, and it's very similar to Microsoft project. And but I don't want to compare the features with what we have in Microsoft project. Mainly what I want to do is to compare the existing feature of this solution as a standalone application on the desktop and see if how we can use it, how you can use it on your project. I personally never use this software in uh, actual work, actual project, a professional project. I've been watching this project for a long time. A long time back, it was Open Proj. Then I think they stopped that project. Then we had ProjectLibre, and I believe at the moment they are working on mainly on cloud solution for this one. But in this video, because still this solution is available, it's what I want to do is to review the existing features and see if it's working properly, if it's applicable to handle complex working project scheduling, and have a general understanding of what this solution can offer. Okay, so first thing first, when you open the application, it's similar to Microsoft project. You have a table view here, you have a graph view on the right side. Basically we call this a Gantt chart. And here if we have I can select one project, but if I for example, let me try go to the project. If I create, for example, new project, let's say, let me call it test2. Okay, so I can switch between multiple project file. This is something I like it. If I open multiple project file, I can switch between them, and I can also view all the available projects in one view, in this table view. It's nice. And let's okay, we are on project test. Let's start with the tasks. Okay, so this is a Gantt chart. We have a table. Okay, we have name, duration, start, finish, predecessors, resource name. These fields also, for example, is available in Primavera, Pix6, or Microsoft project. Pretty much I can say standard in the scheduling tools. Let's start with defining. I can I want to say I want to check if how user friendly is this tool. Task 1, task 2. By press enter, it automatically moved to the next row. So far so good. I can say other tools also work similar. Let me try something else. Let me open the notepad. Let me type task 5, task 6, task 7, copy and paste. Okay, this one also works fine. So because my concern is not only type here one by one, because you may have a project with 1000 tasks or you have a list of your tasks. You just want to, because at the end when you use a tool, it's important how user friendly is, and by user friendly is how you can efficiently complete your data entry part, because data entry is one of the most consuming times for you when you use these kind of tools to import your data from other source. It can be written on paper, or it can be available in a text file, Excel file, or other source to the scheduling tool. And this copy paste is helping a lot. And by default, I don't see any task mode like manual schedule, automatic schedule, like this useless field that available in Microsoft project. So I'm happy about that. This is a very useless function in Microsoft Project introduced, if I remember correctly, 2013. And we have a start date, finish date. Let me put manually change. See, I manually change and it gave the dependency, right? The constraint. So this is fine. I press Ctrl Z. Okay, see, I press Ctrl Z, but still dependency is here, right? So and this dependency is not good to be here, right? Dependency should be here somewhere on advanced. Yes, I know this because it's very similar. As soon as possible. Okay, so this is one thing that I don't like, that if you touch here it creates a dependency constraint, but if I press Ctrl Z to redo the change, it is not removing the dependency from task, and I have to come here, advanced tab, and manually remove it as soon as possible. Okay, so this is something, it's not a big deal. It's something that I can say one room for improvement for the developers to consider this. I think it's not a big deal. Honestly, I personally believe it's not a big deal. If you know what you're doing, if you know what exactly this constraint type is, and what are you doing with because normally you should not touch these two fields, then it's not a big deal. It's not something that I say, okay, this is a showstopper, and because of that I'm not going to use this software, or this is a bad software. No, it's not like that. It's a small room for improvement, and the developers in later release can consider and improve this point. And so this one is fine. Now let me see if I do to the predecessors. Let me type if I okay, so I can use this one to the link between task, so it should be fine. Then this is the predecessors field. Now another problem, I guess. Here I selected value on predecessors field, I pressed delete button, but what happened is application delete the whole record. So if I select here, if I select this field, press delete, it only delete the value of the field. But if I select like this two field like this and press delete, seems like it delete the whole record. This is something that the user should be careful. Let me try this, see what happened. Delete. Oh, it delete everything. Okay, so basically now delete is not working, so I think it should be delete from here to here to apply. No, here also is not working, but here it's not working. Maybe only if it has a value. Now it's working for 1. Okay, so it is not acting constant. Now it's delete like this. Okay, so conclusion is, do you know why I'm trying to do this? Because you may have a text field. Let me insert, it should be available like text, and you have a lot of data. Control C. I just copy paste the finish date, but this is a text. Okay, what you want to do is say, okay, I added this information by mistake, I want to delete all. Okay, if you click here, I'm not sure, right click, rename, hide. Okay, no. So if I click here and press delete, it delete everything. Okay, but what I want is to delete all these values. I don't want to delete by selecting one by one. I just, or backspace. Imagine if you have a lot of tasks and you want to delete the values on a specific, a lot of fields, then it can be a problem, right? You get what I mean. So this point also is something that is not handy, or maybe developers also need to look at this and try to improve this point on the fields of this table, because now I want to hide this field. I don't want rename hide. Okay. Let me right click and see if no. So, and if two, sometimes also is not working. Okay. So I can say it's not working properly, because what I want is select all the values here, or select the header for all the values of on the field and press delete, and all the values deleted. I don't want to do it one by one, honestly. It's really hard. And then so this is something that they need to improve, but again, it's not a really big deal. Honestly, it's not a really big deal. You can find other solution, like copy a lot of fields from empty field, then paste it here, for example. I'm not sure if it works. Let me test. What was that? Insert column, text 1. Let's say you had a lot of tasks. Now what you want is select all. No, it is not allow me to do that. So if Control C, no. So again, this solution also is not working. So for now, if see like this, I have to do it manually. Okay, and let me hide this. Hide this column. So this is not nice. I cannot say it's very bad. It's showstopper. It will be block you. But definitely, if you want to use custom field, there is a high chance you end up having hard time for cleaning data. Okay. And let's check the duration field. I didn't conclude the task name. Let me create now a summary. Let's say the name is total. Then here is summary 1. Delete. Another point that I noticed here is when I click on a field, it automatically goes to edit mode. Let me double check with Microsoft Project. In Microsoft Project, let's say you have a value, right? You have a value here. Let me make it automatic. Okay, so from user point of view, when the field is not active, I can use arrow key to move up and down. Okay, but if I try to double click, this one is open, but if I click and then try to type, it is like I'm in the edit mode and I can put the value here. When I click on a field, it's automatically the edit mode is started. Now it's edit mode is off. Okay, so now I'm here. I want to insert, so when I press insert, another record is added. Okay, so this one is okay, summary 2, and let me select these two and indent. Should work, right? This all indent. This one is also fine. Now selecting these two and indent is fine. So summary looks at least looks okay. Then I have to put duration. Let me okay, so I can put duration 2 days, 3 days. Let me put for example 5 hours. or 4 hours. If I put 4 hours, then it is converting to the day and show it as a day. So 4 hours, because every day is 8 hours, it converted the 4 hours to half day. Okay, and here is, let's say, 3 days. Okay, so far it's look like normal, but the difference with other software mainly is it always try to convert the duration value into days. Okay, let me test something else. Now let me put 1 day, okay, and 1 e-day. When I put 1 day, okay, the task 8, task 9. When I put 1 days, it is 1 day. It's 1 day, and on the graph also, if you can see, it should be covered as 1 day. It's not easy to see here, but it is starting from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Okay, now for next one, I'm putting 1. Look at this here, e-days. I'm using e-days, exception days. But when I put the e-days, it automatically converted to 3 days. Okay, so what it happened is basically when I put 1 day, 1 day in it is 1 day is equal to 8 hours, right? On duration field, whatever you put, whatever value, that's the concept. Seems like that's the concept for ProjectLibre. Whatever you put in the duration, the ProjectLibre is trying to convert it to the day and consider the working hours of that day. So for example, if you put 4 hours, it is converting the ProjectLibre converted to half day. Okay, this is, I hope this is clear, right? But in case of e-days, when you put 1 e-days or e-day, when you have this one in software like Microsoft Project, it means there is no stop, there is no lunch break, there is no pray time, there is no rest time. 1 e-days is equal to 24 hours. Okay, so when you put e before days, it means full, complete calendar day, which is 24 hours, not working hours. So basically, this is equal to 24 hours, right? So when ProjectLibre is trying to convert it to show it on the duration field, ProjectLibre convert it to each day supposed to be 8 hours, right? So ProjectLibre convert these 24 hours to 3 normal days, as you can see here. So this concept of e-days is a little bit different than Microsoft Project. The concept for Microsoft Project was to have a task without a stop. For example, if you want to put cement in foundation of a building, okay, you cannot say, okay, working hours is done, we need to stop, we will continue tomorrow. It's ongoing process till you finish the work. It doesn't matter if it takes 2 hours, 5 hours, 10 hours, 24 hours. If it requires 24 hours, it should continue for 24 hours. Otherwise, you're gonna mess up. See, so But here seems like the concept that they got and implemented is not aligned. Let me double check to make sure. So for this one I put 3 days, right? It converted to 3 days. So if I want to see how exactly it's, so here as you can see it considered 8 hours per day. So I can say in ProjectLibre they didn't, if they had this idea to implement e-days same as Microsoft Project, they got it very wrong. It's not the same. It's not the same at all. 1 e-days is not equal to 3 working days. It's totally different. 1 e-days, it means 24 hours continuous without a stop. 3 days here that is converted means 3 days, each day 8 hours. And after 8 hours, for example, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., then go rest and continue next morning at 8 a.m. This is not e-days. So I'm not sure, but most probably this is a misunderstanding. The person who developed this project didn't understand correctly what exactly is e-days in Microsoft Project. Try to maybe just to include it, but he or she didn't get it properly, and it's not implemented properly. This one is not good. It requires a change. But honestly, but this one also is not a big deal, because e-days is not something that you create a big problem for you. You rarely need to use e-days, and even if you can't use that, you can find I'm not sure if you can find some alternative to handle it, but there are some tricks, maybe some tricks like adding more resource to cover the 24 hours. So instead of, but it also means you will not, if anyone else open your file can think that okay, 3 people is working at the same time to cover the required effort. So it's not a clean approach. So this feature is not good in ProjectLibre, I can say, regarding the duration field. This point I don't like it. They need to improve it. And okay, summary is fine. Let me check if you can okay, duration, so should be okay. Now let me try giving link between task. Okay, I don't get why this link is not working, because this error is wrong. They shouldn't give this error. This error is wrong. The link is invalid, as it would create a circular dependency relationship with other tasks. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. So they need to consider. Let me put it here. It's same example, right? Let me 1, 2, 3. This is summary 1, task 1, task 2, summary 2, task 3, task 4, right? And there was total, right? I'm just doing this in Microsoft Project, not because I want to say Microsoft Project is better. No, Microsoft Project has a lot of more problems. It has its own problems, but I just want to make sure maybe I'm making the mistake. Okay, but this is the link, then this is the link, right? Even the duration 2 3 2 3, right? So this one 2 3 2 3. Now I can give the link here, right? It's a normal link, it's not a problem. Okay, so when I try to create this link, it should not give me this error. Okay, predecessors is 3. Okay, and I want to give the predecessors to 7. Let me try type it manually, see Yeah, same error. So ProjectLibre require effort for improvement on link logic. Basically, what I believe is they made a mistake on this check. This should not be an error. This is a valid link that you can provide, and I hope they watch this video and one day they fix it, because honestly, uh, for me, if they can fix these kind of bugs and provide some improvement, it can be a very solid tool. But let's continue. So this one is not something that I can forgive. This one is not something that I can say, okay, it's not a big deal. It's a really big deal. It's a really big deal if you cannot create a required link with your project. Okay, let me just create some link. This one also valid. It should not give me this error. Okay, this is also valid. This is also valid. Okay, anyway, let's continue. Another important point here. So I created a very basic link, and let me test something else. Let me try to remove all this link. Where is the link? Unlink. Okay, so unlink is working, but okay, so it didn't delink this one, but it's fine. Let me try this. Select this one, select the control on keyboard, select, 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 select. I want to see if it can create the link based on the sequence of the task selection. It is helpful in project scheduling when you try to link the task, when you know the sequence, when you select the sequence of tasks and then ask software to link them. No, it is not. It's not a big deal, honestly. It's not something that showstopper like the other one. This error, this is showstopper, but this that not be able to link based on the sequence of selecting the task is not a big deal, but it's nice to have it. It's nice to have it, honestly. Okay, so I think you can double click, and here also you cannot assign. It's nice, it will allow you to assign predecessors or successors here, but seems like they designed this one with basic function to change the link and assign lag and delay, lag and lead, but you cannot, right? Seems like you cannot. Yes, and you cannot add the new link. Okay, this is also, I can say, it's nice to have, but it's not a big deal. Okay, so let's continue. Then what we have here, what we have is predecessors. I think we discussed. I think you can say 3 finish to finish. Yeah, it work. Or 3 finish to finish plus 1. Yeah, it work. So we good. I think we covered the task definition part. Let me see what option we have here. We have task information. Let me double click on that. Open the task information. General tab is pretty much standard, but the work they put it here, I personally don't like it. I don't like they put work on the task when you do not assign any resource. Okay, what I want is to have work information on task when I assign a work resource to a task. Okay, that's important point. It can create misleading, it can create uh, it can create a problem. I personally believe if you don't define a resource for task, then you don't have work information for your tasks. Okay, uh, so this one for me is bad idea to have it here. It should be 0. We shouldn't have this value here. Okay, start, finish. This is for baseline. We didn't take baseline so far, so good. Predecessors is you cannot assign task here or here, so not a big deal. Resource, you can use it to assign resource. We will look at it later. Advanced, the WBS. The WBS in ProjectLibre probably is based on the summary task we created. Display task as a milestone. Okay, not a big deal. Constraint type, pretty much a standard. Deadline, I guess deadline is just giving you a notification. Let me try. Yeah, just a notification. It is not affecting on calculation. So this one is also standard, nothing important here. Task calendar, you can specify calendar. We will look into the calendar later. We have type, fixed duration, fixed unit, fixed work is fine. Earn value, okay. This one is pretty much same as Microsoft Project and Note. Let me see if let me see. Try to take a screenshot here and see if I can put it here. No, but I can type. Yes, it seems like I cannot copy paste picture, but I can put the free text. Okay, it's not a big deal if you can't put document. Anyway, even if it's possible in Microsoft Project, but it can, because the size of your file increase, it can create a problem later on when you want to load the file. Okay, so this is task information. I think we covered most of the information. Here you can change the view, the available views. The views are basically a table with different fields. You can always come here, press insert, or right click insert column and find a required field for yourself and load it in whatever table you are working on. So it's not a big deal, you just need to know what field is required to add it. But the important point that I noticed here is when I tried the text is here there is no custom field, so you cannot put formula on the field. You cannot use the mask, you cannot use lookup. It's just available field, free text available field. It's not a big deal, it's not a showstopper, but it is very nice and it's very good to have it, similar to what exists in Microsoft Project. If I come here just to give you an idea, text, you can go custom field, you can put formula, you can use lookup, you can use mathematic like roll up sum, you can use graphical indicator for different conditions to draw KPIs. It's really helpful, and it's not available in ProjectLibre, seems like. I don't know, because I cannot see the custom field. I can just see you can add text or maybe duration, duration 1, but you can only put like this or like this. So it's not it's nice to have them here, but without the custom field options, same as Microsoft Project or similar to Microsoft Project, basically you are very limited for to implement your own calculations in Microsoft Project. And I think I hope one day they try to consider this point and try to improve this feature also, but it's not a really showstopper. I still I'm saying, although it when you compare to this one, when you compare to this problem, this one is a showstopper no matter what. Although it's very small and very you may say it's very just it's require a very small fix compared to implementing the custom field require much more effort, but this one is a showstopper, but that one is not a showstopper. This one can impact directly on your planning, messed up your planning, but that one it's just a kind of a quality of life, very nice and good quality of life in this tool. Okay, let's continue. So we discussed about this point. I think I covered here. Let me see if I can. I am not sure how can on this graph how can I zoom in and zoom out. Maybe here. Yeah, here. Okay, and zoom out. Okay, it would be nice if they include, for example, if I hold control and use mouse scroll to go down, go up. It would be nice to have. Okay, so I think I covered most of the important points regarding defining tasks. Now let's try resources. For resources, I can see we can create like RBS style resource group 1, then R1, R2, resource group 1 I can indent, right? Because here I can see indent, right? But I don't get if this RBS is material, then why it's broken into two separated work resource. So I don't think they work a lot on this concept of RBS. I'm not sure, but probably you can create a summary similar to task and you will see RBS style like this. It can automatically draw a resource breakdown structure, and you need to be careful and on your end that what is the type of resource, if it's one of main buckets and it's broken into 3, or it's this exact resource. Okay, and now I can see we have only 2 type of resource. Microsoft Project has 3. If I remember correctly, Primavera also has 3. But if I want to compare this one and Microsoft Project, the resource cost in Microsoft Project is totally useless. You can ignore it. You don't need to use it. If you need more information why I'm saying that, you can go to my channel, my previous video about, let me find the playlist, and where is it, project management tools, and I think not this one, project calendar, Microsoft Project problems. In this video you will see why I'm saying you should not use resource, and I also explained this point on my other videos regarding the earned value, and basically I'm saying this because Microsoft Project is not considering the resource cost part of earned value calculation. It's a really big bug and that exists in Microsoft Project for many years. Okay, now we have email address. It's just email, not important, and label, for example, for if you have, for example, a material resource, you can put the label as for a kilogram, for example. You have initial group, not a big deal. Then you can standard rate, for example, 100. See, another point that maybe the developers can improve is I'm coming here, I'm on this field, type 100, and it added at the end of the existing text. But the proper way is it remove the existing value, type mine, and apply it. So now I have to clean, type, and press OK. It's not nice, it's not user friendly, but it's not a big deal. I mean, it's not a showstopper definitely, but it will be annoying for the user. Okay, so this is the resource type. I guess there should be a resource information. If I select a resource, press resource information, yeah, so here types basically same information and the calendar for the resource. Okay, I didn't speak about the calendar yet. Then here cost, resource availability, two important tab, very important tab, available in ProjectLibre as well. I like it, but the point that they may also consider to improve is allow you to rename these tabs A, B, C, D, E. They exactly copy paste these concepts from Microsoft Project, but it's a very bad idea, guys. You need to allow user to rename these A, B, C, D, E tabs, okay? Because when you do the resource assignment, you want to apply the cost rate table. You should not expect the user to memorize all this information, what was A, what was B, what was C. But if you allow user to rename it, at least user know what exactly is A, then select it properly and reduce the chance of mistakes. Okay, it make it easier for user. And resource availability, I think you can specify date, and pretty much standard. Then you have task tab. I didn't assign this resource to any task, so that's why it's empty. And note. And note also, I believe you cannot import image, right? Or maybe let me try. Just maybe drag and drop. No. Okay, it is not supported. It's not a big deal. I don't see on the resource, I don't see automatic resource leveling, which for example Microsoft Project has, Primavera has, but honestly I don't care about that because it's a useless feature. It's not a good feature. It cannot be a good feature. You cannot rely on automatic resource leveling. The negative point of automatic resource leveling is much more than the positive points that it can provide. For more information, you can watch my videos on Microsoft Project where I explain the resource leveling. But in general, it's not a big deal. It's not an important feature, and it's not something that you're going to use. So it's not existing in this ProjectLibre, and it's fine. And but here, anything else? Calendar, I don't care. I think we covered the resource definition and task so far. I think everything was okay. I'm not saying it's perfect, but it's okay. But this one is a big deal. And not having the custom field option for ProjectLibre also is kind of important. Also, that this one is not a showstopper, but it brings a lot of flexibility on the table for the user. It can help a lot, especially for the report generation. But if you want to use reporting outside of the outside of the ProjectLibre, maybe not a very big deal, but still you will suffer. For example, not be able to use the lookup, it will be a suffer for you. You increase the chance of typo error, human error on typing the values in the field, and it can be painful later on when you want to create the reports. Okay, now let's see how I can assign resource in ProjectLibre. I think I can double click, or I can come here, let's say I can double click here. I don't know if I type 5, it's saying this resource not exist. If I type 2, not resource exist. If I type R1, it is accepting because R1 exists. So I need to know the exact name of the resource. It's not. So basically this field is not really practical. In Microsoft Project, for example, you can, it's a drop down open, you can select. Although it's not a good idea to use this one for resource assignment, but at least it is much easier on Microsoft Project. You can double click, comes to the resource here. Let's see, 100%, 100%. It is assigned, right? It is assigned, right? Task 2 assigned, right? And close. Now I can see the list of resources here. Right, nice. So I can double click here. I can assign maybe this one, maybe this one. Okay, 24 hours. Okay, so seems like or I can use this button. I can use this function to assign the resource, and it is not supporting. Let me check if give me alarm for over allocation. And it didn't gave me any let me remove this link, and for this one also let me assign this resource. Okay, so I'm sure we have resource allocation problem here for R1, because R1 on day 1 has to work on this one, this one, and this one. And the resource availability, if I go to the resource sheet, resource availability is %100% or 1. But if I go here, if I go to the task usage, I can see R1 8 hours here, again 8 hours here, again 8 hours here. So this feature in Libre is not working. It is not give me alarm that I have over allocation for this resource on these days. It's a negative point. It's a negative point. When you have a lot of tasks, a lot of resource, it can be a problem for you to identify these cases. I cannot say this is not required. I believe it is a very important feature that they need to include in ProjectLibre, and not having this one is really bad. Now let me check the task usage. Okay, task usage and resource usage are very important views in any scheduling tools, because of this tabular view that you have with a lot of details. Let me check work, cost. Here are very limited. Work cost, for example, I cannot add the budget. I think ProjectLibre also is not supporting budgeting. And work cost. Okay, but let me try if I looks like as a report can be helpful to view the information in this tabular information, but let me also check some functionality. Let me remove cost to make it easier view. I double click on task 9. Now why these are selected and why this is going, it's mentioned task 10, seems like something is wrong. Okay, this is for task 9, but when I double click on this one, it is written task 10, and then I don't have task 10. Let me try this. double click. Task 6, right? Task information 8. It is written here task 6. When I'm assign, it is showing the information for task 10. And it is adding cement to task 8. Let me double click on this one. It is showing task 3. Let me double click on this one. It is showing task 9. And for task 9, all 3 selected. I don't know why. Seems like ProjectLibre on this view, when you double click and when you want to assign resource, has a function problem, a big bug, and it make the view unusable. But seems like you cannot use this view. But let me try if I can change the value here, because this is the most important part. Wait, let me double check, because for updating actual cost, actual work, so you have work, you have actual work. For example, for this task here is 8 hours work. This is actual work, okay? 8 hours work. Let me change it to 4. It is accepting. To 8, it is accepting. 4 hours, okay? At least this one is working for updating. So seems like we're gonna have a problem on resource assign. Let me try this button. Maybe this button works better. Let me remove actual work. Let me, can I remove delete? No, I cannot delete. Delete, no, delete, come on, delete, no, delete is not working. So seems like you cannot use this view for planning part. You need to use Gantt chart for resource assignment. Then it looks like for updating it's still usable, but you cannot edit the information on the left panel. I mean change the resource, assigned resource. It is not working and it has a bug. And as I said, this is a very important view, and I guess they are going to have a similar problem here also. Cement task, but here you cannot assign more tasks to this resource. Okay, so but here you can, let me, this is work, let me see if I can increase work. 4 hours, 4 hours, okay, 2 hours, 3 hours. Seems like this one is working, the actual work. Even on the Friday, one problem is it's okay. I can assign actual on public days, public holiday days. But why change like this? Let me put, if I put 1 here, it is totally moved now. And Control Z also is not working. Seems like it changed everything. Look at this task. Okay, so seems like resource usage and task usage is only fine when you want to look at the data and view it, but it's not fine to edit data, update the data. So it's a very, very, very negative point for ProjectLibre from my point of view, and they really need to work on this point and improve it, because as I said, a view like resource usage and task usage are very important, very important, much more than the Gantt chart or tracking Gantt or other views. These two views are very important for planning, detail planning, and for detail updating on your project. Okay, I think we covered the important points about this software, and resource view. I don't care about these views, histogram. They are just fancy nonsense views. Honestly, not practical. What I'm more into is task usage, resource usage, Gantt chart, tracking Gantt, and the kind of bugs like this that they need to fix. And custom fields, definitely the custom fields. And let me check if they have filter and group. Seems like I don't see filter and group. Seems like they don't have filter and group. And now they have. I shocked at the first, but seems like you cannot create more group or more filter. Okay, so this is kind of a limitation. They need to allow user to define group and filter based on their needs, but it's not a really big problem. But other point that I mentioned about the task usage, improvement on task usage, make it solid without a bug, without a problem, is very important. And another important point that they need to consider is they need to try to include a budgeting system. You should be able to define budget, you should be able to assign budget, and it would be nice if you can compare the budget and cash flow and see if your cost is aligned with your budget or not. And I think we covered the important points of this tool. I don't think it will offer anything more. As I said, I am not honestly into these fancy nonsense graphs. I'm more interested on these views if it's working, but sadly this one is not working properly. They need to improve it. And but if you have a project with very basic task definition, basic resource assignment, just to track a simple work, this ProjectLibre is not a bad idea, but be careful about these issues. These issues are showstopper. Okay, and other than that, seems like this tool is not mature enough to be able to handle very complex project planning. For example, if you want to solve the proficiency test, let me find that. Where is it? And let me open. If you remember, I record a series solving the project proficiency test. It should be here. Here. This one, project management proficiency test. You will end up having a lot of problem to try to solve this test by using ProjectLibre. Okay, but if you want to just have a very basic, simple Gantt chart and resource assignment, this should be fine. But if you want to use this, if you want to use it at that level, then the main question comes: why I need this one? There are other online tools available that provide basic Gantt chart, which is a very valid argument. And I later on I will try to review other available tools, mostly online and cloud-based services, and I will try to see how they good are and how you can use it. this tool, ProjectLibre, honestly, I personally, because I never get used in the actual project, but but I was watching. Oh, okay, this one has the resource usage, has the task usage. I thought maybe it's a good software, good tool. But now when I see those problems in these two views, now I can say, okay, if they improve it, maybe I can consider it as a solid tool. But without those improvement in this software, I cannot recommend it. I hope you enjoyed this video and this review, and have a good day.